Hey everyone, let's wait for our devs to come in for us to start our Twitter space.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Awesome.
nice profile picture.
You can thank AI for that. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't post that on Twitter recently. I should post that. I was in an article for this game website called 80 Level, and I did a talk about artificial intelligence and texturing. I'll post a link on Twitter right now.
Nice. And what are your thoughts on that? Oh, actually, let's let everyone go and read the article.
Yeah, there you go. But no, there's way more than just in the article. I tried to keep it kind of safe in the article because the ethics of AI is definitely it's the topic of conversation right now, and uh, it it really boils down to, do you make money off of selling your individual art, or do you work for someone? If you work for someone, it's usually not as it's about speeding up the workflow. You're trying to get the best bang for your buck out of your dollar. But if you're an individual artist and you are selling your art, your paintings, you're selling prints, you're someone who draws dog pictures, that kind of thing, it is it looks threatening from the outside because you're actually capitalizing off of your art. So in the end, the ethics are, it only really can affect people's profit margins, but not art itself. Art can only be reproduced, not created from scratch from using AI. So there's not really any worry there. Uh, Brandon, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
on uh on AI in general.
How about just the AI replication for art and CG right now that's happening?
I think it's actually a really powerful tool. But it all kind of depends on just like ethics of it be how it's developed, because the way some of these models have been trained are a little questionable. But other than that, I think it actually improves the workflow of anybody that for anything related that can use AI. It's a very powerful tool. So for artists specifically, like let's say if there is somebody who's, let's say, writing a book, um, I think if they don't want to have to go out of their way to get a new cover, or like go the traditional route of getting a book cover, it gives them the power to do that as the author. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. It also sometimes gets you closer to what you want faster, and then you can bring it to someone to bring it to that next level. It's an interesting concept. It's um, we've been using it in Photoshop forever. Any of the Smart Select has been trained on many images and on what objects are, yada yada yada. The depth images that we can create with any image now is all AI trained, and it's so valuable, especially in the 3D scanning world. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Moonland.
Yes. What updates do you guys have for us this week?
So this week we were in working in the IT department for part of it. We got a new dev machine to uh, build our world as big as possible. We found some limitations. We all like to work from our laptops, and we have some pretty beefy laptops. But when you're developing a game like Moonland that is so enormous, now our server runs on a server rig. I should post a picture sometime. And we got a Perforce server rig, so we have a lot of desktops, and we have an old a Linux machine too to do some heavy lifting. But we needed to get a desktop to build our world. The new technology with Nanite, to build a big world, you need a lot of memory. So we took a little while to set that up this week and get building. Brandon got some really. I guess we'll share the video. Maybe tune in next Monday. You'll see a video. We got footsteps. I know it's not interesting stuff sometimes, the things that you work on as a dev, but it's like the completing of the world. So we haven't had footprints in the world, and now that they're there, it really just feels like the character is grounded. Like it was you didn't even realize you were missing it until you see it. So that
Yeah,
you'll see a video
it
of
really
that.
makes you feel rooted, for sure.
Rooted to the ground. Yeah, it's like contact shadows when you're lighting. It just is that secondary bit that if you go that far, it shows by people not being able to point out what they don't like about it. Um, we got or we've got through a bunch of bugs. Our audio guy Dave this week, he has worked on a whole crap load of audio for us. So we got laser sound effects, jetpack sound effects, a lot of things we've been missing. I think we put out a trailer this week that it was just a little clip from last week of us flying around. Catalina cut that up and put that together. And so we'll be getting more and more of those to you as we play farther into the game. We we had a really good play test last night. That was fun. Quite a few people, and it seemed like everyone was really enjoying the new open world. So that was one of the aspects that I like to see is people when they come back to me and say, "Hey, I got ideas." That really shows that this is a game that people want to play already, and we can just continue to build it. One of the cool aspects that I was able to get into development this last week was we've we have a huge terrain. I think Twitter has this obnoxious claim that it's 64 miles, and you know it's quite large. So when you get in there, you can't have artists hand place every single rock and every stone. So we used a lot of generational techniques, which are, you know, they are kind of a downstep from our AI or machine learning. They use basically a mask in the world, so we can now place objects by painting and also by just the height of the actual mesh. Different types of rocks will be formed, and you've seen the same technique used in Skyrim, where they have different tree types that are placed at different altitudes and different grass types in different fields, and yet they can still place splines with pathways on them. So we're really starting to build that aspect of the world out. That's still world building. We're still in that concept zone. One cool thing I got running today is a little animation of a robot. So we really want to show off our construction as we build the game and we let more people in. We want to see the world is under construction too. So we're getting some little extra animations for everyone to enjoy, some extra life to keep the world more and more alive as we show it off. And the bugs are in, running around. This week was, oh yeah, this Monday or Tuesday was the day that I logged into the game after the weekend that no one had played, and our bugs have a spawning zone, but they're allowed to free roam outside of that zone. And right at the player entrance zone, there was two bugs just waiting for me. And it was interesting to think about these critters have been hanging out on our server, headless, which means there's no monitor connected to a computer viewing them. They're just software running on a machine, just scurrying around the moon's surface all weekend. Um, That's about sums up most of it. Actually, no, that's not true. Alicia did a really good. I think we drove her a little crazy this last 2 weeks. We're getting the different clothes and hairstyles for the universal body type cranked out from our concept artists. And one of the things that she was tasked to us, she was assigned to do, was the spacesuit. And I think this is number 5. That's how many times she's reworked this spacesuit. So this is the final time, and it's ready to be colored and put into the game next week. So that's exciting. Uh, that is going to be part of the starter kit that you get. The first couple missions are going to be building a starter kit to get your basic supplies in the game. So we really locked that down last week with Brett and Danny. We started working, and I think Daniela, we're all working together on really writing all that content down so that you guys can, in the future, have an opportunity to read it.
Yeah, those bugs were crazy. It was kind of fun to just I think I had like 10 of them and I had them all following me and then I kind of like left them in a chasm and then yeah, a couple days later I came back and like half of them were there and half of them were just like wandering around looking for someone to eat. So yeah, they're kind of fun already and yeah, so it'll be fun to get some more people in there and go on some battles.
Yeah, feed more bugs, you know.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Was when Kieran goes idle for a second, I kind of get some bugs to walk over to him, and then I'd like fly away and watch the bugs eat him, because that's kind of fun.
Yeah,
He comes back in, he's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I don't know."
it's funny whenever you time the jetpack and everything. Whenever bugs are coming, and it's like you're on your last bit of health. It's it's funny to see if you can get eaten or not before you can get to safety.
Yeah,
Yeah, that like 3 second when you're taking off. Yeah, exactly. It's like yeah, a couple times I've been like 2 health bars and I'm just about to take off, and then I just midair, like I'm just a foot off the ground, and yeah, then I'm out of life.
yeah, and we got their animations coming in too, so you're gonna be able to see them attacking you. Brandon, I did notice that if you just stand really still, they hit you once and they just stop, and then they just sit and wait for you to move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a bit of a delay that's on there. It's a little bit longer than it should be.
So the hack to that though, I found is especially if Kieran's idle, is I get like 10 of them, and that way they're all gonna hit him once, even if he's not moving.
Yeah, and then
At
you
least
just
10
fly
hit
up.
points.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good week. Again, a lot of IT stuff. We're just setting up this new computer. We'll have some cool stuff to show next week, like we always do. Keep updating you guys, and it's been fun.
I'd love to get your reactions while you guys play. I don't know if in a stream or if you guys want to record yourselves, that would be so funny.
Yeah, I was hoping to have Twitch set up and everything today or by this week, but it's just Visual Studio aired out. Some things I hadn't had installed, so we've just had a few hiccups with that, or I have. So next week we'll be all set up for that, and maybe we'll do a Twitch stream of us playing the build that we've got running on the main public server, and then we can see how that gets handled. Where I'm Twitch streaming, and we get as many of us in as possible. So maybe we'll pick a date for that for next week, and we'll all play it, and we'll make sure you can see our faces.
Nice. I'm excited. I'm sure everyone's gonna be excited to watch that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If anyone has any questions or if you guys want to cover any other topic,
I'm just excited to get more people in and playing. We ever with everyone we get in, you get more and more uh, reward from seeing our hard work finally getting more than just 3 of us eyes, hands, and ears on it. We'll
It's
have
easy
some.
to get tunnel vision with it. It's refreshing having people hop in.
Yeah, and also good to know that like if you're an echo chamber or not, we really need to like make sure that you don't fall into that in development because it's really easy. And I'm still getting a build error. I'm getting closer, guys. I'm getting closer. So I'm installing some Visual Studio stuff, and it I keep getting an error.
Feel free to send me that error again so that way I can read that one.
Yeah, I will. I'll send you this one. Um, but yeah, no, that's everything from this week. These are good little updates for everyone.
Oh, something I gotta announce. So we got this Coin Market Cap articles that we're posting, and we're gonna be posting one about Brandon um today. I think so. So you guys
Oh,
gotta stay tuned. Yeah, you gotta stay tuned, Brandon. And
I'm
if you guys
excited.
haven't go to our Coin Market Cap profile, we have a bunch of articles. We've been posting a lot about our team members and some insights and fun stories about us. So
That sounds cool. Yeah, yeah, we'll check that out.
all right, guys. So I think that would be it for today. Thank you so much for jumping in this space and giving us all the updates. I'm sure everyone's super excited to wait for that tweet stream and see all of you playing, and that will be fun.
That will be fun.
All right, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Adios, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.